Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome to the new subscribers. I noticed we've gone from 20 something to 40 something in the last couple of videos, so that's nice. Welcome to you guys. Thank you for hitting subscribe. I wanted to show you today a knife that I've had for a couple of months. There are plenty of videos on this already, but I thought, having had it for a couple of months, why not make a video telling you what I thought of it. This is actually the third time I've recorded this because I keep getting things wrong on it, so here's hoping this time it's a bit better. The knife is the Lionsteel Best Man. This is the Best Man 1, being single bladed, but you can get it in double bladed version as well. So Lionsteel is an Italian company. It's part of the Maniago group, an area in Italy, not Menagio, as I was saying before. And located there, you've got Lionsteel, MKM, Viper, Fox knives, and I think they tend to make knives for each other as well. There's certainly some similarities between the knives that come from that area. What they tend to be is at the top end, the premium slip joint type in production knives, very good quality, classy little gentleman's knives, a lot of them. And this is just such a knife. This is a gentleman's knife. It is titanium bolsters with a micarta covers, inlays, scales, whatever you want to call them. You can buy it with carbon fibre in the middle instead, or I think they do two different wood options that you can get as well. As I say, this is the single bladed version, but they also do a double bladed version, hence the symmetry in this handle. This, on the two bladed version, would be the pivot for the second blade. You would have one at each end. I wanted the single bladed version. I don't think that looks out of place. I quite like having the simple symmetrical design. The bolsters are lined. As you can see, the transitions from the covers to the bolsters are perfect. There's no raised edges, there's no gaps. Moving around to the back, again, no gaps. The details on the bolster, on the pivot pins, you've got this kind of gear design. I would say it's a gear design. Both sides, which does make it a little bit more interesting. Again, just adds to that feeling of quality. Ergonomically, the handle is brilliant. If I can get the camera to focus. Even, as I say, I take an extra large glove size, got quite fat fingers, relatively big hands, not the biggest in the world, but relatively big. And I can fit, I can gorilla grip this quite comfortably. I'm at no risk of sneaking up and nicking my finger on the blade. Ergonomically, it's very neutral. It has a slight curve to the handle, but other than that, it's just a rectangle. That tends to be the easiest way of making a knife fit everybody. It's not forcing your hand into a certain position. The back spring is crowned, as is the spine of the knife, which makes a nice difference. It gives it, again, it's that little bit of quality over and above your normal slip joint. And the meet up between the back spring and the spine of the knife is perfect. They actually cut each side at a slight slant, which creates this divot in the top, but they are perfectly in line. They meet up very well. The pull strength, I would say, without measuring it, it's about a 7. It's not as strong as the Civivi Trailblazer, definitely not as strong as the Viper Key, which is the strongest I have, but it's plenty strong enough. I would say this is about perfect, what most people would like at a 7. The blade type, it is obviously a drop point design, It's about 2 3/4 inches from looking at it, slightly smaller than the Viper. It is a flat grind with a satin finish. The actual bevel, the edge itself, is very consistent all the way along the length of the blade and both sides, which is really nice to see. A lot of knives you get, they're not the same both sides. They've obviously gone to great effort, taken great care with the sharpening. It came very, very sharp. I've not had to do anything to this. Obviously the blade type is, the blade steel is M390, so it is one of the super steels. It has stainless properties, but it's also a very hard steel. So if edge retention is your thing, this will last a long, long time before you're going to need to sharpen it, obviously, depending on your use. The flip side of that is, everybody wants these really, really hard steels. When you do come to sharpen it, you're going to need diamond stones, and it's going to take that much longer because if it's abrasion resistant, it's going to give you longer life in the edge, but it's also going to be harder, i.e. take you longer to sharpen. Blade lock, there is no play in that blade at all. It is solid, no side to side play, which you would expect in a knife at this kind of price range. And on that note, price, they are relatively expensive for what they are, for the size of the knife, but you are paying for the blade steel, you're paying for the titanium, you're paying for the quality, the way it's put together, where it's from, so all these things combined, actually I think it's quite reasonable. It's £130 on Heine Haynes for this version, which is about the same as the Viper key that I showed you not too long ago. There are a few differences between the two, if these are your options. If micarta is your thing, this is more of a raw micarta. It feels a bit like cloth, whereas on the Lionsteel, it's polished, or it may be coated with something. It still has the texture, but it doesn't have quite the same feeling as the Viper. It's just a different finish. Another thing worth noting between the two, the Lionsteel didn't come with a leather slip, which surprised me, whereas the Viper key comes with that lovely Italian leather slip. Very nice. But if you already have slips, or you just want to shove it in your pocket, that's not going to be the end of the world. The blade, as I said before, is slightly shorter than the Viper key, which is not necessarily a bad thing because this is right on the legal limit in the UK, so this should be well within it. Another one worth putting in the gentleman's carry group is the Civivi Trailblazer I showed you the other week. I don't think so much with the handle, I'm not a huge fan of the faux carbon fibre, but certainly for that Damascus blade and that blade shape, it's a classy little blade, that one. And I think that's what these knives are made for, really. This is going to be the type of thing, your church knife for Sunday best, weddings. I guess that's where the name came from, perhaps when couples buy their best man a gift. This would make a lovely gift, or perhaps just for an office carry, a smart office carry. It's a classy little knife, perhaps with a titanium pen, a nice tweed hank or something. You could have an everyday carry people would be envious of. And for that purpose, I think this knife fits all the requirements. I really like it. I've used it for a couple of months. Obviously the blade steel is great, the grind is great, it's very slicey. I've not had to sharpen it, I've not had to do anything to it. It's very high quality, it looks classy, looks like an expensive little knife. I suppose it is an expensive knife, but I don't feel that this one is overpriced I think, you know, it's worth every penny, even down just the little things like the lettering on the blade. They've not billboarded, it's nice font. It's the attention to the little details that really make a knife like this feel special. I think I will be getting more Maniago, is it? Yeah, Maniago, not Menaggio. Maniago knives. I'm probably going to order an MKM to go with the Viper and the Lionsteel. And if you're looking at this as an option, I would highly recommend it. In no way disappointed. It's one of my favourite modern, traditional type slip joints. So I hope that's been of use to somebody. If there's anything that I've missed, or there's anything else you want to know about this knife, just write something in the comments. I do try and reply to all the comments that people leave, and I just wanted to say hello and thank you again to the new subscribers and to the existing subscribers for continuing to watch. If there's anything that any of my knives that you perhaps have seen that I've not reviewed yet, you want me to, just let me know. I hope everyone's all right, and I will see you all soon. Ta-ta.